Hello everyone and welcome to Tub Talk with Teri on Tuesdays, of course. Anyways, today I have Miss Adeline in the tub today, and she is the creator of Style and Soul, which is an awesome, well, kind of explain what you do, I guess. Like, you obviously are a stylist.
I'm a stylist. I am a personal freedom coach. I am a host. I am a producer. I am an all-around woman.
So basically what we can say is she's awesome.
Yes.
And I had the pleasure of being interviewed by her on her show. So now the tables have turned, or rather the tub has turned. And now it is my turn to interview Adeline. So today what did we decide we were talking about? We're talking about, what was it? Not going for your goals. What was it?
Oh my God.
Something about achieving your dreams. Anyways, right?
Stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Oh, to achieve your dreams. That was it. Stepping outside your comfort zone, which is a huge thing.
Yes.
So tell me an example of when you remember the first time you stepped outside your comfort zone, like that it made a huge difference in your life.
Well, so as Teri mentioned, I have just launched Style and Soul in January, which I developed videos basically to create trust within the people that were coming across my my website, and putting that out there, putting myself out there in video form, and saying to the world, hey, this is what I do, and this is my baby, Style and Soul, and look at me, I'm behind camera. Has been really, really, really huge for me, and has really got me to step outside myself and my comfort zone. Really got me to see, things I can work on, things I'm actually really good at. I never thought that I could be behind a camera like this on a phone in a tub.
Right? You've hit the big time. That's what we're gonna say.
Cheers to that.
You have hit the big time sitting in Teri's tub.
And I feel like a lot of people, when they know they want to do something, they want to model or sing or anything, put themselves out there, even start a blog, a podcast, whatever it is. A lot of people become really self-conscious, and understandably, I understand why people become subconscious.
Self-conscious.
Self-conscious, because all the negative things that you believed about yourself do start to come out, and these are, demons or things that you actually really, really need to face. So starting Style and Soul and doing small pilot projects and doing things like this have really elevated me in so many ways. I'm learning so much about who I am and the future self.
And what you're capable of.
And what I'm capable of, which is...
That's a big thing. Like, people are like, oh no, I could never do these things.
Yes.
And then you're like, but did you try?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you literally... As they say, you don't know until you try, but it's absolutely true. Like, I always say to people, the worst case scenario is you're just right back where you started, right? Like, if it fails or if something doesn't happen, you're right back where you started. So what do you have to lose,
and
essentially?
There's no such thing as failure.
Yeah.
It's all learning,
right.
There's so many times where I've fucked up, or I've said the wrong thing, or, I look at myself and I'm watching myself interviewing, so I'm like, why am I doing that, But it's a learning process. Now I know not to do that.
Well, that's the John Maxwell book, actually, isn't it? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's crossed out and then it says learn.
Yes.
Because everything is a learning process.
Exactly. And there's so much beauty in learning. I love learning. I love reading. I'm a learner of this thing called life. And to learn about myself it's massive, and it feels so good. Like, it feels so good.
So where would you suggest people to start then, as far as learning more about themselves? Like, if they wanted to, take a little baby step, as far as owning their awesomeness, but they don't want to do videos right away. Like, I know I put it off for so long. Even now, I'm obviously not in front of the camera. I am behind it, yapping away.
You should be in front of it.
I don't think we'd both fit in the tub at this point.
No, I'm kind of liking having the whole tub to myself.
Exactly. So what would you say to somebody that's like, oh no, like, I could never do what you do, or you know what I mean? Like, what kind of advice would you give?
Well, I would ask why? What is it? What is it about whatever it is that you want to do that is making you feel unable to step outside? Why? What is it about? What is your why story?
Yeah.
Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why aren't you doing the things you're doing? So I really get people to explore that. Why?
Yeah. And then there's me who's just like, just do it, you'll be fine. 'Cause that's how I am though.
No,
and like,
I'm the same way.
And people are always like, oh, like I wish I could do my own job or do this. I'm like, you can. That's the thing is, but I get that not everybody's raised in an environment that is completely supportive of going outside.
I'm not. I don't come from that. I come from a home where my mom was like, you got to go to university. Like, that's what you got to do. Like, get your degree and get a job and,
A job.
Yeah, and that's what I was raised in.
Yeah.
All my aunts, they're all social workers. So I became a social worker. And then I started working and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a creative person. I can't do this.
I can wear flower crowns. So I don't know what this is about.
I can't wear a flower crown in a town where
you're like, I like my fashion sense.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I was raised in that same home, but there was always something inside of me that knew.
Yeah.
That knew that I can do more, be more, and that, buying a house and a car and having children and the dog and the white picket fence I'm kudos to those who it's for.
Yeah.
But I know for myself it's not for me. So what do I got to do in order to make
what is right for you?
Exactly.
And that's why I always tell people, I'm like, for those that maybe being a social worker is their like passion or life calling, awesome, like go do that. Like you thrive in that environment. Yeah. People like us, however, do not do well with four walls that are gray.
Like when people say C's get you degrees, they do. You know what I mean? Like I was never an honor roll student. I never will be. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that.
Funny story was I was such a good student. I got A's. I went to university. I did that. Went to be a teacher, and I was like, no. Because there was always deep down inside of me, there was like the creative part that's like, nah, you're fine. You'll be okay doing your thing.
Exactly.
So, the black sheep of the family.
And that was me too. I'm the same thing. I was always
someone's got to be it.
Yeah, the person who's always doing something. People are always saying, you're always doing something. You're always doing. You're a busybody. You're a busybody. It's like, yeah.
You're like, I'm living.
Yes, that's what creative people do.
We live, yeah, exactly. So that's awesome. So what is your next project or your next stepping out of your comfort zone that has you scared shitless, but you're going to do it anyways?
Well, I have a lot of things that scare me shitless. Well, now it's about I gotta have a fundraiser for Style and Soul.
Ooh.
And get that organized, come up with season 3, get some studio space that isn't Shaw space because unfortunately it's too far.
Yeah.
And yeah, just keep elevating. Like that's scares the shit out of me. It does. Every single day I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But I know, I like inside of me I know, but logic Adeline is like,
yes, there's always that voice that's like, nah, you should just not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always say that's the societal fear talking, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's 2 types of fear. There's the holy shit, you're gonna die, like get out, which is survivalist fear. Yeah. But then there is the every bad thing that's ever been said about you or your profession that you want to do, or all the negative stuff is like, what if you fail? What if, I just always link it back to when I posted like a year ago about getting my hair cut short, because I've never, other than grade 6, but that was a bad experience, but about getting my hair cut short, and I posted it to Facebook, bad idea. Do not, if you're thinking about anything, do not post anything to Facebook. Just listen to your instincts. That's the number one. But what happened is that I stepped outside my comfort zone. And instead of asking for people's opinions and yada, 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 I literally did just listen to myself and was like, okay, it's just hair. I got my hair cut, and all of a sudden, all the people that told me not to do it the first time were like, oh my God, you look amazing. And da-da-da-da. I was like, where were you a year ago when I said, should I get my hair cut? And you were like, no, don't do it. Right?
And what were the reasons for them?
Because, well, there was no other than like, oh, no, but long hair is so pretty, you know, whatever, like stupid reasons.
Oh.
But the thing is like, that was their own fear. And that's the problem I find is that people will project their own fears onto you.
Yes.
And it's the same with running your own business. Because every time I go back to the farm and tell people, like, they always say, oh, and you do just photography? Well, obviously not just now, but you know, but essentially, like, you run your own business, like, you can make enough money doing that. Like, you always get those questions, and it's like, yeah, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it.
I don't understand why everything always has to come back to money.
Right? That doesn't make success.
Well, are you happy? Yeah. You know, why
do I like waking up in the morning and going to my job?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, why does that, or you know, when you go out to networking events, it's like people are always asking, well, what do you do for a living? It's like, that's not who I am. Why don't you ask me who I am?
Yeah, what's my passion and what gets me fired up and excited?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what is the world of Adeline Bird look like? You know, like that. Those are the questions I feel like people, you know, miss asking. So
and I think a lot of that comes from just being in a very conservative environment where back in the day you weren't allowed to dream. It's like you literally go to work, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, hard work, of course, is part of what we do, and that's the thing is people look at us and think that what we're doing is fun, but it's like, are you kidding? Like, running your own business is the hardest thing on the planet. My brain never shuts off, as yours probably doesn't. You're always trying to come up with the next cool thing to keep yourself relevant. You're always having to sit, like, it's like business, marketing, like every class that you would go to university normally for, but you do it in real life. It's so much more fun.
Exactly. And I'm learning, like, for me, I'm learning a lot about media and producing, what that actually looks like, and you know, now my curiosity for a whole nother world is opening up.
Yes, mine with marketing. That was my thing. I went to the chapters yesterday, bought a bunch of books on marketing. I'm like, this is a scary world because it's very, like, elaborate words. But I'm like, but it's exciting to be learning about a new area.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, that is pretty much it. So people out there listening, please get outside your comfort zone and do something crazy, something that will shock people around you. Like, don't go streaking, like you'll get arrested. But, you know, like, maybe do something that you've been thinking about doing, but you were scared shitless, and just do it, because the worst case scenario is that you don't, and then you regret that you didn't do it in the first place.
Exactly.
So take our advice, do it. It'll pay off. I promise you.
And it's so much fun. It's so much fun, and you see yourself in a different element, and it's just a lot of fun.
My mom always said that's the type of pride that only you can give yourself, is when you do something you were scared to do.
And exactly.
Nobody else can ever give you that. And people will be like, oh, good for you, but the feeling you get when you're like, I did that is amazing. Exactly. So go forth, create, be awesome, and be yourselves. Talk to you later. Bye.